We are going to come live across now to the amazing Gail Dixon. I'm very thrilled to have this incredible Ripple Maker come and join us on the stage. Gail is globally known as the Masterful Messenger. She's an international speaker, best-selling author, coach, consultant, and founder of the Heart's Voice movement. For a long time, well, for as long as she can remember, so she's told me, she's known that words have tremendous power. How many of you believe that words have tremendous power? Well, Gail envisions a world where everyone will hear the words that describe your unique, sacred identity, and that you can speak those words with clarity and confidence as you live your life's purpose. She's absolutely amazing at working with entrepreneurs and business owners to find the right words to express your business and your personal brand identity. And that's why Gail's not only a member of the Ripple Makers Mastermind, but she's also the brand messaging mentor for our mastermind members, tuning in live to brainstorm their brand messaging with them every first Wednesday of the month. So if you haven't got that in your calendar, 7 p.m, the first Wednesday of every month, you can tune in with our Ripple Makers Mastermind members and get one-to-one feedback and support from Gail. Now, I first met Gail on set of Awakening Giants TV, where we were both filming for series 1 in 2017. I can't believe that time has flown so fast. It's gone quickly, hasn't it? Well, it's been incredible to not only witness the amount of growth that our brand builders and Ripple Makers have experienced because of Gail's mentoring over the years, but also to witness her growth and the birthing of her own global movement as well. In fact, Gail even created her own global day because she wanted to create it and there wasn't one that existed. So she said, screw it, let's do it. She created National Claim Your Voice Day, which now happens every year on the 20th of May, encouraging entrepreneurs all over the world to take their message and name it, frame it, and claim it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Gail Dixon. I love my life. Dixon joining us on the stage. Gail, give it up for Gail. Got to get you onto the screen.
Oh, so glad to be here, Sammy.
Oh, you're tuning in from Florida, I believe.
I am. Hot box of the world right now.
Amazing, amazing. Well, Gail, obviously all of our Ripple Makers Mastermind members know you because you've been working on their brand messaging with them behind the scenes. But for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about what you do and why you do it.
Well, I start from a place of listening with great heart and listening between the lines for the essence of the sacred truth and message that sits in the people. And as I hear that sacred truth, then I find the language to frame around that, to reflect back to them. You know, one of the things that I think happens for lots of us is that sometimes it's easier for other people to see us and get an accurate picture of who we are than it is for us to see ourselves. We let our own doubts and fears and old tapes and shoulds and oughts and musts and criticisms crowd in, and we can't tune in. We can't hear. And I'll venture to guess everybody on this live stream today probably has some old negative criticism from way, way back that echoes through their head every time they get insecure, every time they're facing something new, every time something doesn't work. And that old tape has a volume and an intensity that is way out of proportion to the volume and intensity that should come from our own hearts. And so really what I do is help adjust the volume. Let's tune up the volume on your truth, your uniqueness, your special gifts and talents. Let's tune down the volume on doubt and fear and external messages. And then let's find a way that you can express that with the language that will connect you to others who are meant to share the journey with you. Because, a message is not a message until it is heard and received. A message transmitted is a hollow entity. So unless you have the frame around it that helps it connect with other people and with the others who are meant to be there with you, it's just an idea. It's not an action. It's just a hope. It's not a result. And so we have to find those connecting messages. And then when we connect, boy, when we can frame it and when we make the connection with the people who are meant to share that space with us, the magic happens when we ignite that connection into action. And again, words that are the fuel that take us into action. The words are valuable themselves only insofar as they are the tools for the connection and the action that we're meant to take. And we're all here, every single one of us, no matter what the focus of our business is, no matter what the focus of our message is, we're here to make a change in the world. We're here because there's something that's not out there that should be, something that is out there that shouldn't be, something that people need that they don't have, something that people have that they need to shed. But it's all about change. And change is an active process. Change doesn't happen in the head, it happens in the hands and feet. And so we need the words to get it from your heart and your head into the hearts and heads of others. And then together you become the hands and feet that make that change happen.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And what a beautiful description, and so visual as well. As you were speaking, I could just see, I could see so many entrepreneurs get really stuck, even when they have the message. I've, like you, been working with people for many years, and they get to the point where they've got the message, they've got the business, they've got the website, they've got everything ready, and yet they still don't press the button. They still get to that point of, whoa, hang on, oh, I'm just about to jump off this cliff. Has there ever been a time where you felt like that, Gail, where you've got everything ready and it's like, whoa, hang on?
Yeah. In the 5 years since I went to that session with you in San Diego, I had many ideas and knew I needed to shift from where I had been, which was helping others to amplify their voices, to really doing my heart's work, which is to be the spokesperson for the heart's voice. I am here on this earth to engage people in speaking and listening from the heart, to let people know that that true, authentic heart messaging is the language we ought to be speaking with each other if we want a whole and healthy world. And boy, I danced around the idea and I stayed on the edges doing my quiet, sweet support. And that was very useful. And I was really good at it. But there was the piece of action that was my piece of the action that I didn't take. And I had lots of health issues that every time I would get myself to the place that I would be right there and ready to jump and ready to do it, my body would stop me. And I'd go right back into that place of contemplation, invention, playing with the idea. And, I turned 71 years old this October. I don't have forever to do this work anymore. But part of what I realized was that I was being a less than credible mentor if I was giving everybody else tools that I was refusing to use.
Crikey. How many of you are doing that? I recognize that in myself as you're speaking. You give it all away and then there's nothing left for yourself.
I mean, you think about you think about the marriage and family therapist whose own relationship is falling apart.
And the plumber with the leaking tap.
or the physician who continues to smoke and carry too much weight. There are all those things. And what that does is two things. Number one, it dilutes the truth and the impact of your message if you are giving people tools that you use to use yourself. But the second thing it does is eat at your soul, because you are not being the person that you were meant to be in the world. And I just finally got to the place that I'm blessed with so many great mentors in my life, Sammy, that the other thing I did was revert to my days of wanting to be the best student in the class. And so it was, let's see if I can follow this person's model or that person's model, or take this person's class or frame it in that way. And, I didn't quite have it all. I didn't quite have it perfectly the way they framed it. And so I was waiting until I got it all tied up with the prettiest pink bow you ever saw. And let me tell you, the world was running out of pink ribbon. I was not finding that pink bow to tie it up. And so what I realized was that instead of seeing all those folks as examples, I was seeing them as bosses. I was seeing them as teachers who would be grading me, as opposed to people who were aiding me.
Oh, that's so good.
And so I did a video a few months ago, and I called it "To Hell with the Box."
Give us a hashtag, "To Hell with the Box."
Yeah. And so what it really was I decided that this thing I want to do, being the spokesperson for the heart's voice, there's not a model out there for doing that. Creating your own National Claim Your Voice Day and then calling people to raise their voice. Creating this movement. There's not a model out there for that.
Yeah.
But I know that's what I meant to do. So I just had to say to myself, all right, it is absolutely time for you to be what you are calling everybody else to be, which is a speaker of your own heart's truth. To do what you are urging everybody else to do. And it's perfectly okay to then continue to be that mentor, that person who magnifies and amplifies other people's voices, because it's a way that you give back the gift you've been given. But it isn't the only work to do. And don't get so lost in doing the helping that you're not making your own harvest. Don't get so lost in gleaning from everybody else's field, helping everybody else to plow their harvest, that you don't harvest your own crop. And so that's really what this spring has been about, and what the coming year will be about for me. And I'm so blessed because I have this great community and other communities that I participate in, where people have been receiving my gifts and talents all along, and who then are ready for me to say, now here's the final iteration. Now here's the culmination of this truth, and be there supporting. So I have a whole army of people who are not going to let me scurry back into that safe little hidey hole.
We're sure not. We're sure not. And Gail, just before we come to an end, there's so many amazing light bulb moments that I've had. I haven't had time to write them down. I'm going to go back and listen to this again tomorrow. Gail, I'm going to ask you the question that I'm going to ask every speaker at this RippleFEST, and that is, if you had to build your business all over again, what would you do sooner?
I would get out of my head and into my hands and feet sooner. I would have been willing to be a C student before I was an A student, willing to fail. And I would have trusted the gift that I know I've been given, to listen and to know that if I was led to say something and share a message, that was coming from source. I mean, this wonderful gift of language that I have, this ability to sit with somebody and listen to them for 5 minutes and say, okay, here's some language that you might try out to give some power to what you're doing. That comes through me, but it's of source. It's of that divine true messenger. And so I'd be more willing to trust my source.
Yeah, I think that's a huge message, isn't it? Being a bit trusting. And I mean, that's taken me so many years for me to trust. And then I'll get into the zone of trusting others, but then not trust myself. Or I won't trust the word that's coming to me. And I did that for too long. And, you know, in fact, I know that cost me many years of success. But we are where we are. We're all where we're meant to be.
Well, and, you know, the very interesting thing, Sammy, that the thing that I have to really share and celebrate and lift up is that since this spring, since January, when I really said, like, okay, let's throw the shackles off, let's do this, I have not had a health crisis. And the more I do the work I'm meant to do, the more I do my heart's work, the healthier and more vibrant I become. And so I've learned that I become more whole when I live into my whole purpose.
I become more whole when I live into my whole purpose. Gail, I think that is the grand finale for sure. How can people reach you? Could you go and copy and paste that into the...
I will. I'll go into the Facebook group and copy and paste it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And ladies and gents,
thank you.
Also make sure that you copy and paste it into the Zoom chat for me as well, the one place that you want to send everybody, because this recording will be going up onto YouTube. And so we want to make sure anybody that finds you on YouTube, and the podcast as well, will be splitting it up to turn it into podcasts and getting it out in all kinds of ways. So make sure you give me your link so I can put that with your content. Gail, thank you so much. Give it up for the amazing Gail Dixon. Incredible, incredible. My goodness, we are motoring through. Gail, thank you so very much for all the things that you do, and for everything you've done for me, and for me being able to have a really amazing model of what truth and authenticity looks like in the world when you say yes to your health and you understand how that message impacts on your body. And when you are out there doing something that your soul is not calling you to do, your body is going to let you know, just as yours did. So guys and girls, if you're feeling any aches and pains, for goodness sake, please listen to them.